Hello guys, Warlix here, and today I'm gonna look at the match between Astralis and GT Esports played during the Road to Rio finals. I'm gonna be looking at Astralis' CT side. I'm gonna specifically look at their setups and how they use utility to counter the fast rushes that are very common on this map on the A ramp position and the B stairs. And for this round we're gonna see G2 going for one of those fast B plays. It's gonna be Amanek throwing a flashbang for his team and Kenny is going to basically rush down this position. So you can see Glaive and Dupree will both get blinded by this flash. Now Glaive is going to use a flashbang of his own right here. He's going to throw this one. And now G2 have a little mistake right here, as this flashbang will blind Kenny right here. And Nexa is not in a position to trade this kill at all. Obviously partly or mostly because of that flashbang that Glaive threw. So Glaive is going to be able to get this free kill towards Kenny S. And no one is going to be able to trade. You saw Nexa walking up trying to go for the trade, but he realizes it's already too late. And he will not be able to get the trade. Now let's skip forward a little bit. Now we're going to see an interesting setup. Dupree is going to be hiding behind this quad position for almost the entire round basically. Let's skip forward a little bit more. As Glaive and Device will be grouping up together, they're going to clear out the mid position. They're going to make sure that no one is hiding towards mid at the moment. And now let's take a moment to look at the map. We're going to have Zipex, he's been jump spotting this position the entire round. So right now they have the following information: that no one is currently on A ramp, that no one is currently in mid. So there can only be two things that are happening. They either unexpectedly rush up ramp from the bridge, which is not very common, or they're setting up for a B execute, as right now it's around 15 seconds, which is commonly the time where IGLs try to go for the final execute or set it up. So they're either setting up on B right now, or they're setting up A farther back, and potentially they have a lurker in mid. So what's going to happen right now, we're going to see Device is going to come over with a flashbang in just a bit. Let's skip forward. There we go, we see the flashbang come through. Glaive is in a prime position, and this is going to allow for a couple things. So either they are setting up for the execute right now, in which case Glaive will be peeking with this flashbang and he's gonna disrupt this execute completely, or they're not setting up for the smokes, and in which case they get a lot of information to play out the rest of the round. In this case, Glaive is gonna get a lot of damage right here. He's gonna get a 1 kill and Hunter will be only at 7 HP. And now we're gonna see the rotates come through from Magisk and Zipex on the A side. They're both gonna rotate over. And now the interesting part is that Device and Glaive and Dupree will all be focusing towards the B stairs. No one is looking for the mid lurker, because that will be Magisk's job. He will be able to come here in time to stop any lurkers. In this round there is no lurker. And now it's basically a crossfire as Dupree peeks out and they clean up all the kills. Alright, so now we can talk a bit more about the setups. So last round G2 they went for that fast B play, which didn't work out at all for them. So Glaive is thinking right now, considering that fast B play didn't work out, they're most likely to opt in for a fast A play right now, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. Astralis, they're gonna opt in for a heavy A setup, sending 3 players to the A side. Magisk will be throwing this smoke, which is gonna land at the bottom of A ramp. And after that he's gonna throw this flashbang for Glaive. This flashbang will land right above the scaffolding and it's gonna allow Glaive to take that fight and most likely win it because the opponent will be blind. So here we go, here comes the flashbang, it's gonna pop right there. And now we can see Glaive winning that fight, Amanek being completely blind. Now he's gonna play in front of the smoke that G2 threw themselves. And in the meantime we're gonna see Magisk going back to short position to take over Glaive's duties. And this is also a pretty good angle for the CTs, because you're farther away from the angle and you also have the right eye peak. So Magisk is gonna win out on this battle. And something else that Astralis like to do to stop the A ramp pushes is what Glaive's gonna do right here. As you throw the nades off the crane, you can see him throw this Molotov and the flashbang. Unfortunately for Glaive there was a smoke right there, so the Molotov's not helping out at all, but the flashbang is pretty effective. And the Device in the meantime has already pushed behind, so it's only a matter of time until they win the round. Even the last kill they double peek together, and that will be the round for Astralis, stopping that entire rush with the flashbang from Magisk. Alright, so now we're a bit further into the half, and Astralis are going to use the same trick. Last gun round G2 went B, didn't work out, so now they're most likely going A, so they will stack up on the A side, and that is exactly where G2 are going. So now I want to point out a small mistake by Amanek right here. He's gonna throw this smoke to counter the A ramp smoke that you can see coming through from Astralis right there. And the smoke from Astralis will land around this area. And the smoke that Amanek is throwing will land around here, and that's to allow them to push towards scaffolding without getting spotted by any potential AWPers posted up around this area going for the peak, so they won't get picked off. Now this smoke will land pretty close to the wall, and that's gonna bite back on G2 later on into the round. But let's switch over to Magisk a little bit right now. You will be throwing this HE grenade off to the metal beam, and that's to allow him to win the fight easier, as there will be quite a chunk of damage done onto the enemy already. In the meantime, we're gonna have Glaive. He's gonna throw this flash. He's gonna hold the A ramp push with his M4. You're gonna see him throw that flashbang. And in the meantime, we're gonna have Zipex. He's gonna throw the nades off the crane right here, while Glaive will protect him and make sure that he doesn't die from the ramp push. Then we're gonna see Magisk is gonna win out on this fight, and now we're gonna see that smoke. Hunter is looking for the trade kill onto Magisk, but he can't find it because the smoke is blocking his vision. And that's the smoke that Amanek threw earlier, so Magisk is gonna get the second kill. Nice spray control by him as well. And now interesting to see Zipex and Magisk, Zipex and Glaive, they have switched positions. Now Zipex is responsible to hold the ramp push and protect Glaive, while Glaive is throwing these nades off the crane. He's gonna miss his Molotov actually. And Zipex, he will get the first kill right here, gets traded out by Jax. And now a small little detail, but it makes a lot of difference, is the smoke from Magisk right here. He's gonna smoke the Molotov that you can see right there on the top of the scaffolding. And now you're gonna see Jax, he's gonna be very confused. He's gonna see the smoke come through and he's thinking that Magisk will push through the smoke to get the kill. But that is not the case. It's actually gonna be Glaive pushing out right here, getting the kill onto Jax, and now it's only Kenny as left standing. And he's actually gonna get a very, very nice shot with his AWP, but he will be traded out immediately. And that will be the round for Astralis right there. Some nice utility usage and teamwork. Glaive and Zipex changing positions to allow the util to be thrown. And then Magisk with the nade of himself to win out on the scaffolding fight. Alright, now we're into round number 12, and the same principle will be applied. Astralis, they will stack heavily towards B, as G2 just went towards A in the last gun round and it didn't work out for them. We're gonna see Magisk, he will throw the ramp smoke first, and then he's gonna make his way over to the B side to help out, allowing for 3 people to be on the B side. But first we're gonna see Device, he's gonna get pressured, he's gonna get pushed straight away, he's gonna get flashed. Now the interesting part is that Magisk, he will dodge out on the first flashbang, allowing for an easy kill on Jax. You can see that first flashbang not blinding him at all. And it's gonna allow for this very easy kill. Now Device, he's gonna drop this smoke at his feet right there, as you can see. And then it's actually gonna be very interesting, because G2, they're gonna try to at least obtain his mid control. Because Kenny, as he dropped his smoke and molly towards the window position, and he threw all his flashbangs as well. And Jax died as well, so it's very crucial for G2 to at least obtain his map control. But Device is gonna throw the smoke, and it's gonna make it very hard on top of all these mollies that Astralis are throwing. So G2 realized they just have to back off, they cannot obtain this mid control. And now actually the more interesting part is what happened while this was all going on, and the reaction from Astralis. So let's go back into the round and see what those side players are doing. Alright, so let's start off with both Dupree and Glaive on the B side. We're gonna see Dupree playing out pretty standard at first, just dropping his HE grenade to get some damage off. We're gonna see a flashbang from Nexa right here, which is gonna be quite important in the end. And as soon as you can hear Device getting pressured, we're gonna see Glaive lining up a flashbang for Dupree, allowing him to play quite aggressive. Now let's take a moment to look at the minimap. We're gonna see Glaive rotating over towards the window position to help out Device and Magisk, which means that both Dupree and Zipex are alone on the site, and yet they're playing quite aggressive. And that's because Astralis have a good map awareness, because they realize that with this mid take, it would make very much sense that there's gonna be at least 3 people. You're gonna have Jax in this scenario, who's gonna be the entry fragger. You're gonna have Amanek, who is gonna be the second entry here to trade Jax in case he dies. And then we're gonna have Kenny as throwing the util to support those players. And this is a very common setup, so Astralis realize this and they're gonna assume that there's at least 3 players towards mid. And that's why Dupree and Zipex are not afraid to play those aggressive positions. And now, like I said, Dupree did spot out that flashbang and the smoke as well here, which Nexa threw at the beginning. So he knows that there's also one towards the B area of the map, or at least at the beginning of the round. So Zipex right now, he knows that he's only up against 1 player, which in this scenario will be Hunter. So let's see how they play this one out. Gonna see Dupree, he's gonna be making his way down. He's gonna hold quite an aggressive angle. He's gonna hold this off angle on the stairs. And Zipex, he still knows he's only up against 1 player. Well, in the meantime, Nexa has rotated over, but Zipex is not afraid to peek into this. He's gonna get the first kill onto Hunter, and this is gonna re-peek into the second kill as well. And with those 2 kills being picked up as well, and the bomb being dropped, Astralis have enough of a manpower advantage and a lot of information to win out this round. Alright, so in case you haven't noticed the trend, we're gonna once again see Astralis changing their setup towards a heavy A setup. As last gun round they went for a heavy B setup, so they're expecting G2 to adjust to that and that they're going for an A rush right here, which is exactly what is gonna happen. So we're gonna once again see Magisk throwing this ramp smoke at the start and then going into the flashbangs that we've seen from that previous round. He's actually gonna miss this first flashbang, but Zipex is still gonna peek off it and he ends up winning this fight against Hunter. Now Glaive, he's gonna play in front of the smoke that G2 thrown themselves. G2 throw this smoke to allow themselves to get further up the ramp, but also for them to throw some utility in themselves without being exposed. You can see Jax, he's throwing a Molotov on top of the scaffolding, and Nex has also thrown a nade to damage his position from Glaive, but Glaive actually dodges out on the nade and he's gonna use the smoke to play in front of it, which is obviously a very advantageous fight for him, as the T's will just be running out of the smoke. And that's gonna allow him to pick up these 2 easy kills. And now the bomb also dropped on the ramp. And now it's a 4 versus 2 already. They have all the information, and that's gonna allow Astralis to win out on this round. Alright, so now we've gotten to the final round of the half. And once again, Astralis, they just had that heavy A setup, so now they're changing up to a heavy B setup. That's assuming that G2 are gonna adapt to that and going for a fast B play right here. So we're gonna see G2 once again going for the... hold up. They have figured it out. They're actually going for the fast A play. We're gonna see a quite creative play. Hunter being boosted up, looking over the smoke, trying to find the angle onto Zipex. Will actually not be able to find it, but luckily Mastermind Nexus, he will be able to sneak through the smoke. They actually take a huge chunk of damage, so it actually looks quite bad. But Nexus will be able to catch Zipex completely off guard, gets the first kill. And Hunter is just gonna capitalize, pressing W, and eventually he will find the kill onto Magisk as well. He does buy a lot of time here on his own, I have to say. And that's actually gonna be the round win for G2 as they get the bomb plant. And that will be the end of the video as well. So if you guys enjoyed it, find it helpful, find it useful, make sure to subscribe to my channel, as I'll be doing more of these. And obviously leave a like as well. If you didn't like the video, feel free to leave a dislike as well. If you have any suggestions or ways to improve my video, or you would like to see me analyze a specific game, then leave that down in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time.